worked with Phylicia Rashad. What was that? Earlier this year or last year?
I'm sorry, who was that you mentioned?
Phylicia Rashad.
No, excuse me. That's Mrs. Huxtable.
Oh, my bad.
I worked with the Mrs. Huxtable, my TV mom, also known as Phylicia Rashad. And it was amazing. Let me tell you something. I felt like all my life I prepared for that moment. Um, I can't express uh, I can't express the importance of being prepared and readiness, um, and also being vulnerable, transparent, and honest. So I got a call from a friend of mine, a really close friend of mine. He's a filmmaker, film director, producer extraordinaire, and he says, "Hey, G, what are you doing? Are you available? Can you capture something for me? It's very important. We only have pretty much it's a short window of time that we have with the client. The client so happened to be none other than Mrs. Huxtable, my TV mom, that I grew up watching over the years, Phylicia Rashad, and I'm like, who? I'm like, yeah, sure. What's the deal? What's the details? What are we gonna do? What do you need me to do? Where's it gonna be? Who's gonna be there? Give me the rundown. In the same day, I had to prepare the location, the crew, and myself mentally to make sure that I handle this extremely well because you only get one shot. Now, thankfully, I have cultivated a habit of readiness throughout the years. So my gear was already ready. I do my best to always stay ready because I never know when I'm going to have to take flight or skip out of town, travel, whatever the case is, to go get opportunity, take care of opportunities like this. So nonetheless, I had to do most of the administrative and managerial work. I had to call her, communicate with her, coordinate arrival times, let her know what the scenario of the environment is going to be like, where it is, who's going to be there, and so forth and so on. All the kind of things that a manager or a talent booking agent would have to do, or even a personal assistant, if you would. So, listen, I got the financial details. I had to secure the location. I did find a location. It was further down in the city. We're talking about somewhere along the lines of, if I'm not, somewhere along the lines of the 50s, in the 50s. I was like, you know what? Okay, this is about an FDR. If anything, she could shoot up, back up into Harlem without much of a problem. It didn't work because once I did call her and tell her this is where it's going to be, she's very familiar with New York City and so forth. And I told her the location. She's like, oh no. Let me tell you, the Mrs. Huxtable showed up on that phone. She's like, that smooth, graceful, charismatic, unbothered nature showed up on the phone. She's like, oh no, that's not going to work. I specifically requested that we will be located not less than 5 minutes from the Apollo because you know that this is a very important night and we have to do. I was like, yes, ma'am. I understand, ma'am. Yes, you are absolutely correct. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to guarantee that you will not be disappointed today and you will not be late for your next engagement. Please allow me another 45 minutes and I will get back to you shortly. That's how I had to handle the situation. Yeah, I started panicking when she started talking to me with such uh, divine quality and even temper. I was like, no. We are not going. I do not want this to escalate and get out of hand. I lose the opportunity. I let my guy down because this is a very big deal. The clock is ticking. I told you, right? I had booked a place. So money has already been spent. But thank God for grace, because I had the opportunity and the access to spare no expense. Sit down, took a pause, took a breath. I'm pacing back and forth also in my studio. God help me. I don't want to drop the ball. Bing. Okay. Within a few minutes after I stayed silent, waiting for an answer from God, right? It was like, what about this person? This person must know something or someone that can point me to the right direction. Made a few phone calls. Got some phone calls back. I met somebody I never knew over the phone based upon recommendation from a friend of mine. Like, hey, so I hear that you are looking for so-and-so for a space to do this and that. I'm like, yeah. Can we work this out? How do we work this out? This needs to happen flawlessly. We have a short window of time. We can't play with Miss Huxtable. This cannot be mediocre. This cannot be a failure. So nonetheless, I had to play the waiting game, because that person had to call me back, because they had to travel, go on the train. They had to go underground before they could get back to me to confirm if the space is available. I'm like, Lord, clock is ticking. I need to have this thing squared away. Finally, I think after maybe a half an hour, 40 minutes passes, got the call. The person surfaced from the subway. It was like, hey, yeah, the space is available. We got the clearance. We got the go. You can meet me there. Listen, everything was already packed. I tossed all the gear in the car as fast as possible to make sure I get to this space before Mrs. Huxtable, Mrs. Rashad, and also before the person that I was speaking to. The space that we got to film was far more, way better than the first place I booked. And it don't got nothing to do with me. I have to credit God on that. Like, yeah, my peoples looked out, but God also looked out, because this was not going to be a failure, right? It was an art gallery, a Black-owned art gallery in Harlem, which was just about, if I'm not mistaken, we're talking about, yeah, literally 10 to maybe 15 minutes at most, with some evening traffic, away from her main event. Beautiful. That's what we wanted. The Heath Gallery. Shout out to Dr. Heath. Amazing family, amazing artwork. Listen, I got in that place. Mind you, I couldn't find parking quick enough. I didn't care where the car was parked. Oh, Jesus, I'm forgetting so many parts. The part I forgot to mention is that I was supposed to call back Mrs. Rashad to confirm the location, the new location. She did not pick up the phone. I'm like, Lord, what happened? Is this the Hollywood silent treatment of being upset and disappointed? I'm not going to pick up the phone. So many things was going through my head. Like, why am I not getting through? I kept checking the number. Am I dialing the right number? I'm like, is my phone working? Like, I'm calling other people to make sure that my phone calls are going out. She did not pick up the phone. I think this was going on for about, I kid you not, this probably went on for about an hour and a half, maybe, roughly. Let's just say that as an average. Nonetheless, even though I was not getting her, I was still on the go. I was still faithfully moving forward, because this thing had to happen. I need to make sure I showed up and I didn't drop the ball, none whatsoever. So that if and when she calls, I'm prepared. So time goes by. Finally, she calls me back. And I was like, hey, I've been, trying to get in touch with you to let you know this is a situation. This is where we're going to be. She gracefully said, sir, I apologize. I am so sorry. My heart drops with this apology. I'm like, what happened? Oh my gosh, what happened? She continues, you know, I had an event the night before and I took a nap. And I'm the type of person that I allow my body, when it is ready to rise, it just wakes up. I'm, I'm on the phone like, okay, I completely understand this. This is, in my mind, I'm like, this is phenomenal. I felt like Theo Huxtable at the moment, like, wow, you wake up when your body wants to wake up, not when the alarm clock wakes you up. So anyway, I couldn't get into like,
That's a different type of money.
yeah, I listen, that's a different type of money, okay? So I'm like, all right, this is amazing. I'm already learning throughout this entire adventure. So I said, I'm like, okay, this is amazing. I'm like, thank you so much for your apology. I was very concerned. I thought something may have happened to you, and I didn't know how else to get in contact with you because, this is a very important thing for you and I both. And, I want to make sure everything goes smoothly as possible for you. And I'm talking to her. I'm like, is everything secure with your transportation? How are we looking with you arriving on time? Who's the gentleman? Who's the driver? Let me know so I can reach out and make sure that they're on point as well, so that you're not, missing in action or whatever the case is. So nonetheless, we press forth in the conversation. She says she approves of the location, the address, and so forth. I told her, it's going to be at an art gallery that I do believe you would appreciate this so much. Listen, when I walked into the gallery and I spun around, I'm like, thank you, God. It wasn't no crabby, shabby, broken down type gallery. It wasn't no crazy, unexplainable artwork, questionable artwork that doesn't match with the vibe or the spirit of the things, the nature that we had to produce for. It was perfect. Oh my gosh. Did I mention this was during the summer? Like one of them crazy, hot, sweltering New York summer days. So I was going through it, right? Little nervousness, and sweating and moving like just setting up lights, making sure the floor is good, making sure the seating is perfect, make sure the lighting is perfect. So I get the call. She's like, sir, I'd like to let you know I am on my way. We should be there in a matter of such and such time. I'm like, yes, ma'am. I forgot another detail. One of my makeup artists, I had to book also the same day for this event because I wanted to make sure that we had a makeup artist on deck just in case something is off. She may not, something might be missing. We needed that extra component, and I had my celebrity makeup artist on deck who traveled all the way from Jersey. I did forget this detail because she also was already in progress en route to the first location and had to reroute to the second location. Mind you, she was coming all the way from Jersey in the summertime when things is hot, like there was a lot of activity. She made it across the bridge, thankfully, safely, and fought through traffic safely and made it to the second location also on time, ahead of time. She got in, she got her little makeup section set up, station set up, and I'm there checking lights, and we're talking about colors just to make sure that we are on the same page and well coordinated, because we're considering Mrs. Rashad's skin tone, the lighting of the daytime, how it would transition gradually in the evening, and what it's going to do for the color inside, and just a lot of technical and beauty logistic type things that a producer, director, you got to think about these things because they all matter to the end result. The gallery owner was there, had a great conversation with he and his family. They were very accommodating. I mean, they had water ready. The space was already clean. It smelled great. Nothing funky, nothing off. That call, right? Yes, sir. So we are about 5 minutes away. Okay. I am ready. The camera is ready. I got an extra battery in my pocket just in case. The battery in the camera is ready. Lights it up. Because this now, here's the thing about show business. She also indicated, oh, I'm sorry. As she's traveling, she indicated, so I would like to let you know that we now only have 5 minutes for this interview. Mind you, I had been setting up the whole day, running through all kind of footage and things and recent things going on to make sure I'm on top of, my mark, so that I ask all the right and correct and relevant questions for the purpose of why we're filming. That 20-minute window is now a 5-minute window. I'm like, Dad, how do I get all of what's necessary, what my assignment is, how do I get it out of her? I'm like, all right, God, you're going to have to help me out with this. The person of honor, she arrives. I go out to meet her and greet her and bring her up the stairs. She walks in gracefully, and it's like the lights were already on, right? She walks in and the room lit up again. It was just a wild moment. I was like, wow. She quickly observes the room, greets everybody very kindly, turns to me, asks, where is she supposed to be positioned and what's the plan, just to go over some things again. And she took her seat. She got mic'd up and she was ready to go. It was like, let's roll. So just before I begin to roll, I'm checking all my gadgets and so forth. Because did I mention that because of such short notice, I wasn't able to bring in an entire crew to facilitate. So I had to be the director, the producer, the engineer, the cameraman, everything, right? I'm about to hit record. She said, sir, excuse me. Is this the final setting of the lights? Like, yes, ma'am. Is there something off? Or do you not? Can I? I'm like, oh God, what did I mess up on? Right? The words couldn't even come fast enough to formulate a proper question. She's like, might I suggest to you that this and so can we, because I just don't think my skin tone agrees with this setting. Listen, I learned quickly. I was not offended. I was more so excited that this human being, this wonderful woman, was gracious throughout the entire time. There was no prima donna. There was no, some people talk about bridezillas. It was nothing crazy. And I look up to her as, someone of value and importance. I took her tip. I adjusted quickly, without refrain, without any attitude. And she's like, yes, we're ready now. Yes, ma'am. Record. And I just started hitting her with the questions. I hit her with, I think I asked her maybe about a handful of questions, honestly, about 3 to 5. 2 of them of which she somewhat objected to, but gracefully just filled in with the flow of who she is and what the questions were being asked of. I can say it was a wonderful experience, a lifetime experience that I'm honored to have been the person that was called upon for this assignment. Never in my life did I imagine that that's how it would go working with her. Um, and it was just a blessing. You know, my guy called me and says, "Hey, how's it going?" He had been, I'll admit that those parts. He had been checking up on me to find out the logistics of things, the location, and I updated him as transparently and honestly as I was supposed to let him know the situations for moving from location 1 to location 2, and being honest about the spending, the account, because we have to be accountable for what the finances are. And he completely understood. And the plain and simple instruction for me was, I don't care. Get it done. Because I trust you. I didn't want to call nobody else. What am I supposed to say or do other than deliver? And so many lessons learned in that experience, in terms of not giving up, not losing your head, thinking on your toes quickly, and adjusting. Also, in emergency cases, you got to know how to pivot. If you want to be in a big industry, you got to know how to think big on your toes quickly, and how to own your thoughts, like, responsibly. Even if you messed up, I did my best not to show any type of unprofessionalism or inadequacy or awkwardness. I did my best to make the client comfortable. There was no time to be a fanboy. There was no, absolutely no. Even after things quickly commenced, quickly wrapped up, I barely even got to take a proper picture with Miss Rashad. She did timely take her time for us to get a picture together, and I escorted her carefully down the stairs and back to her car. The driver was still waiting on location, and before she stepped into the vehicle, she turned to me, held my hands, and said some words to me that was very encouraging. And I do believe it was not a facade or put on. Like, she was very genuine, very heartfelt words spoken to me, and it made my day. Can't forget it. I won't forget it. As I said, there's so many lessons in that one day that felt like 5. Doing the job of multiple people, multiple persons. If I thought I was doing a lot before that day, it was like a graduation day. What should you take away from this? Be prepared. It's not the first time that I've had to deal with a high profile or some type of a celebrity client. But the importance of being prepared, man, is top notch. The importance of knowing your equipment is, you can't skip over fundamentals. You can't. The importance of time, the importance of relationships with people, good people that can vouch for you, that can stand up for you, stand in the gap for you, and go to war for you. They'll seek high and low for you. Also, hold on to faith. Don't let faith escape out of your window or out of your sight. And don't be afraid to stop during certain moments to hear what questions you should be asking, to hear specifically from God, or even how God may lead you to the information that you are missing or skipping over because you're in panic mode, or you're too much in your self mode to be able to see what the mission is. It's not about you. None of that stuff. I told you this story, right? Probably in different, I may have missed more, But nothing about it was about me. It was about her and the mission. The vision was to capture her. It originally was 20 minutes, and I had to adjust to a 5 minute window, which actually, can I be honest with you? The piece that was used for the project, it was only 1 minute. 1 minute, about a minute and 20 seconds. All of that preparation for 1 minute and 20 seconds. And I'm not mad because I got to meet Miss Rashad, Miss Phylicia Rashad. I got to put that's a check, that's a win on my portfolio, my resume. Not only for me, I was able to provide an opportunity for the space that we were in to have such esteemed guests in the house, in the gallery, along with my celebrity makeup artist who already, Darissa Tessier. She is already phenomenal and works on multiple sets across the globe. But having Phylicia on her resume, her portfolio, that's another win to me. You know, so that's another takeaway for you too. You know, your life's purpose is also, it's not always about you, but it's what your life means for others. You know, I don't know I don't know all the details of what that moment did for the people in the room, but I know it did something for a fact. They were very highly appreciative. So another lesson in that for me was, don't doubt yourself, don't doubt your abilities. Because there's always more in you that God has placed in you to be birthed. I felt like that was an appointment specific just for me, to show me what I can handle, what I am capable of, that benefits others. Don't be afraid of your assignments, man. Don't be afraid of your assignments. The assignment itself was it built my confidence to show that you matter, and how you produce things for people matters as well. So don't drop the ball. Don't drop the ball. Don't think little of yourself when I'm calling you higher. I'm calling you to assignments that are specifically for you, that only you can do. I don't know who I'm talking to, but be encouraged. Be encouraged. Don't give up on your skill. Don't give up on your talent, your craft, and where God is leading you to, because there's always a purpose in it, not only for you, but for the others who are supposed to receive from it.
It is beautiful. Hello, how are you, sir? Thank you for coming down these stairs to say hello to me.